Hi, I'm John Hazzard, and for me, it's all about food. Well, today I want to make you a dish with chicken, the same chicken I cut up yesterday. I would like now to go ahead and just make a dish now that you can prepare with that chicken. And it's going to be a dish with onions, mushrooms, and I'm adding some roasted bell peppers to it. So let's get going. So basically, what I'm going to be doing now first is let's go ahead and light my stove up. Just light this up. And what I'm doing is I'm taking the 8-piece cut chicken that we used yesterday, and we cut it into 8 pieces. You remember that film? And then what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be searing it in this pan. I'm going to add a bit of oil. I'm using here some grapeseed oil. Grapeseed oil has no flavor whatsoever. So just adding a bit of that grapeseed oil inside of there. And I'm going to get this pan nice and hot. And what I'm going to be doing is taking the chicken that we had cut yesterday. I have some flour. I season the chicken first with some salt and pepper really well. And then I have some flour mixed with a bit of salt and pepper as well. And I'm dredging the chicken into this flour and salt and pepper mixture. So I'm dredging that inside here, getting that nicely dredged. And we're going to do all of them. Yes, I'm using a small plate, but I would suggest you use something a bit larger. I'm doing this because of space. So we're getting this all nicely dredged. And while we're doing this, we have the oil heating up in the pan. Let's just do this wing. So I'm using some of the chicken from the other day. So we're going to go ahead now. This is nicely dredged. I'm going to add this now in here. Same here with the leg. I have a breast here. Just make sure it's well dredged. And we're going to do the same thing as well now with this thigh. And then we're doing the same thing with the wing. So I'm going to put this aside. These 2 items I'll put aside. And we are dredging this really well. So we're allowing this here to sear in the pan nicely and get a good dredge. And get a good sear, I should say. So remember, we have this on a high heat and searing all sides until it's golden brown. So this needs a bit more. So I've seared one side. I'm going to turn it now to the next side. And if you have a tongs, you can use the tongs for this here as well too. I'm just using a spatula, but the tongs will work equally better. Good, so we're going to sear the other side as well now too. So we have the chicken nicely seared on all 2 sides. So what we do now is we go ahead and take this chicken out of this pan. And again, it's better if you had the tongs. So remove the chicken from the pan. Good, removing this from the pan. I'm going to lower the heat a bit. I still have a little oil left, so I'm now going to add my onions. And also my garlic. And I'm going to stir this around really well, just to lightly caramelize this. If you need a bit more oil, you can add a bit more oil as well. So I'm going to add just a little bit more oil. And we're going to sweat this out nicely. Use my mitten. So we added the onions and the garlic, and the onions I diced. kind of a small dice. And then the garlic, I also diced that as well too, nice and small. And then what we're gonna add now is we're gonna add the mushrooms into our pan. And the mushrooms, I basically wipe them off with some paper towel, damp paper towel, and I sliced the mushrooms. And then what I'm gonna add next after the mushrooms is I'm gonna add the red bell pepper, which is what I have here. And what I did with that red bell pepper is I placed it into a bowl. I added some of the same grapeseed oil to it, and I tossed it. And then I placed it into a roasting pan, placed it into the oven at about 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I roasted it in the oven, shaking it and turning it on all sides. I removed it from the oven when the skin was blistered. You can see the skin separating away from the actual flesh. That took me probably about 10 to 15 minutes, or 15 minutes I should say. And then once I had done that, I placed it back into the same bowl I had tossed it in, and I covered it with a lid. And that's going to create steam inside of the bowl to help remove the skin. If you don't have a lid, you can always use plaster wrap or foil paper. And that was the application for the red bell pepper, what I'm going to add right now. So we added that. And once we've done all of that, we're going to add now. I have here some rum, brown rum, or you can use some brandy if you have it. And I also have some white wine as well. We're going to add this white wine in here. Such a gorgeous dish. Now I've added those and deglazed the pan. I'll go ahead and add now. These are whole canned tomatoes. Or if you have fresh tomatoes, you can use fresh tomatoes as well. Stir this around a little bit. And then what I have here now, I'm raising the heat back up to high. I have here now some chicken stock, which we'll add in here. So we added the chicken stock. And then I'm going to season that up with some salt and some pepper, which is what I have here, some salt. And also some pepper. Give this a stir so we can taste it. Make sure it's adequately seasoned. So I'm going to grab a spoon and let's just give this a taste. Tasting quite delicious. It just needs a bit more salt and a little bit more black pepper. And then what we do is we're going to go back now and add the chicken back into here. So we can now cook the chicken all the way through. So that's added. I'm just going to put a little bit of stock on top of this chicken. We added that. And then what we will do now is allow this to come to a boil so this can all cook out beautifully. So that's our chicken in our onions, mushrooms, and red bell pepper. What I will do with this now is, so it cooks nicely and quickly, we're going to add a lid. And I have a see-through lid so you can see inside and see how it's cooking. So that is the process for this chicken so far. So we allow this to cook, simmer out, and I would say in about 10 minutes this chicken should be finished so we can taste it. So we're going to go ahead and check this chicken now. I've had it simmering here for a few minutes. Oh, it's looking gorgeous, looking so gorgeous. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and prepared a bit of basmati rice, which I have here. We just check our chicken, it's looking great. And what we're going to do now is we're going to just take out a piece of our chicken. I have a piece of breast here. Place it onto our plate. Wow, this looks amazing. So I've placed, okay, so I've gone ahead and placed a piece of chicken onto our plate. So I'm gonna go ahead and head outside to the patio with a glass of wine, this chicken as well as this rice I made. And we're gonna taste test this food We're sit outside with a beautiful view so you can see the view as well. And we're gonna continue this right after I get outside to eat this meal. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this amazing chicken with mushrooms, onions, and also some bell pepper. And I also cooked a bit of basmati rice to go along with it. But first, let's just try the chicken. Now let's just taste this. That is so delicious. So delicious. Have a bit of that with the rice now. Oh, this is so delicious. So amazingly delicious. So that's a wonderfully simple dish you can produce at home using the same chicken I cut up into 8 to 10 pieces. And that's basically some chicken with some onions. I've had some garlic, some mushrooms, and also some roasted red bell peppers, and also some tomatoes. So if you've learned a lot and you've enjoyed this show, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Ring the bell, share this video with friends and colleagues and family. Also, leave any comments as well too. And again, I am John Hazzard, and for me, it's all about food.